Welcome back, everyone. Republicans, of course, tend to dominate Idaho elections when it comes to statewide and congressional offices. And the GOP, of course, is hoping to continue that trend tonight. Our senior reporter, Don Nelson, checks in live this evening from the GOP watch party. And I know it's kind of quiet down there, but, you know, this year, Don, obviously there's splits within the Republican Party, especially over Proposition 1.
Just a second, Roland, I'm glad you brought that up. We are here at the Idaho GOP watch party, which is actually in the middle of the valley this year. I asked why, and they said, why not? It's centrally located for everybody from Ada and Canyon County to attend. This is the courtyard at Marriott at Eagle and Overland in Meridian. And the banners are going up. The candidate signs are going up. They're blowing up balloons right now. So it is starting to get some movement around here. But we will expect the crowd to come in here in about another couple of hours. It'll start filling up as they start watching the numbers come in, as we will as well. Roland, as you mentioned, the Prop 1, which is very interesting, and you did that story earlier about Prop 1. There was some confusion among a number of people how this was going to work, and if they get a chance over the next couple of hours to watch your story, because it is very interesting, and there is a little bit of a separation from the old GOP to, well, let's call it a new GOP for the sake of argument, about Prop 1, Roland.
I mean, there's no question about that, Don. I think that there's a real split there. People like, obviously, Butch Otter, who, 15 years ago, would anyone consider him liberal in the least? Not likely. But he's one of those folks that does not like the way things stand now, would like to see Prop 1 pass, but most of the official GOP right now is against it.
Yeah, it's all based on that getting 50%, right? So if you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 candidates and none of the 4 get that 50%, then that number 4 spot drops out, and the second spot of that 4th candidate then goes back into the rotation, so to speak. So it takes a couple of minutes to understand it, but once you do, you can see where the proponents of it are in favor, and of course the opponents of it, as we see in the signs up all over the valley, don't Californicate. Right. Idaho, right?
Yeah.
And you see plenty of signs here. Plus, you'll be greeted, by the way, of a official life-size cutout of Donald Trump when you walk in.
That'll be interesting to see that later on, right? And whether or not it passes or not is another question, but whether or not that room that you're in ends up having kind of a split, that's an unusual thing to see in the state of Idaho.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for former Governor Butch Otter to see if he's here or not. Of course, we're expecting Governor Brad Little, but if former Governor Otter is here, I'll be sure to ask him about it, Roland.
Interesting to see. All right, Don, thanks very much from the GOP headquarters. Now,